Hey guys, Cricket here from Cricket Decor. Let's make a pancake wreath with this pretty little love grows sign. And we're going to use these two 1.5 inch ribbons, some yellow Decor mesh, and we might add some of these flowers. I'm not sure about that. We're going to use a Dollar Tree frame. And we're going to need 12 pipe cleaners for the wreath frame. Probably 4 for the sign and 1 for the bow. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 for that. 2, 3, 4 for the sign and 1 for the bow. Okay, so let's get the sign ready, and I use a staple gun. I'm going to take the stickers off the back. Rope here, we don't need that. And I'm just gonna bend these in half to get the middle and just staple them on. I have a quarter inch staples in my staple gun so that it doesn't go through the sign and come out the other side. That would be bad. And if you don't have a staple gun, you can also use cable mounts and either glue them on with some super glue and then some hot glue. These are cable mounts. These little things you just peel the sticky part off, and you can super glue those on, and your pipe cleaner would go through the cable mount like that. I don't use them because I've had bad luck with them coming off, so that's why I use the staple gun. So we'll just put that aside for now. Use that one for the bow. Now for a pancake wreath, there's only 12 ties on the wreath. So you have 4 bars here, and we consider these 2 outer ones the outer ring, and then the 2 up front here the inner ring, and then you have these crossbars. So we're going to put a pipe cleaner on every inner ring at the crossbar to start with. So you're just going to go under the 2 rings here at the crossbar and just twist it. And you're going to do that for every crossbar. we finished the top inner ring, we're going to move on to the bottom outer ring. I don't make a lot of pancake wreaths, but sometimes I like to, just to give my customers a little bit of a cheaper price point, I guess. Okay, so now that we have all of our ties on every crossbar, you got 6 there, we're going to go in between each of these in the middle on the outer ring, and we'll have 6 of those as well. So you're just going to take your pipe cleaner and go in between the 2 that are there on the bottom row this time. And you're going to do the same thing all the way around. And you should end up with 6 on the bottom and 6 on the top. I get my pipe cleaners from Hobby Lobby. I used to get them off Amazon, but I found that Hobby Lobbies are actually a little bit sturdier and a little bit thicker. So that is where I get them. But most of the time I use wreath forms that already have the ties on them. But for the pancake wreaths, I use the Dollar Tree frame. Okay, so now we have 6 on the outside and 6 on the inside. Okay, so let's cut our mesh. This is a fine weave poly mesh, and I've got this from Craft Outlet, which is where I order most of my stuff from. It's 10-inch deco mesh. And I'm going to cut this at 18 inches. And you'll need 12 pieces total. Okay, so we got our deco mesh cut. And I do have 2 1.5-inch ribbons here, and I've cut them at 13 inches. You can do 12, you could do 14, you could do whatever you like, but I use 13. And I'm just gonna angle cut these instead of dovetailing them. So you're just gonna line up your ribbon here and just angle up and cut them. And then do the same for the other side. This ribbon is really thick, so this is that deluxe ribbon, deluxe brand ribbon, so I'm only taking a couple of pieces at a time. See if I can cut more. And then we'll do the same with this one. one was already cut. So this one's a little thinner ribbon, so I'm able to cut more at once, I guess. But I just take it and fold it over like this and line these up. That one's not. There we go. And then you only have to cut once. Alright, so now we got our ribbon ready, mesh ready, and what I normally do for a pancake wreath is start on the bottom and then I do my mesh and my ribbon first. Okay, you see how this likes to kind of curl up on itself? That we want it curl side down. And we're going to do what's called a ruffle. And I usually like to put something heavy on the other end. Let's get some of this out of the way. And then you just start in the middle of your mesh, and you're just going to kind of walk your fingers up to make what looks like a bow tie. It's going to look like that. And then you're going to place it right down into your pipe cleaner, just like that. Give it a good twist. And then just kind of bring these over top of each other. Like that. And it gives you like a little pancake looking thing. And you're just going to do the same thing all the way around. You're going to lay that right down on the pipe cleaner like that. And you're going to bring your mesh one on top of the other like that. And kind of fold it downwards. See how it tries to curl up here? You want it to go downward. So you're going to have to take all your mesh and kind of push it down like that. So where's everybody watching from? I am located in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've lived here for about, oh gosh, I don't even know now. 16 years, 17 years. I'm originally from South Florida. Was born and raised in the Fort Lauderdale Pompano Beach area. So let me know where you're from. And if you make wreaths for, you know, selling, or just for your home decor, or if you're just starting to sell your wreaths, like just getting into it. I have been making wreaths for, oh gosh, let's see, how long now? 3 years maybe? I know I've had my Etsy shop for 3 years, but most of my sales are from local customers, and I do markets, which I enjoy doing because I work from home. I have been a medical transcriptionist for the past, oh gosh, 30 years now? No, how old is my daughter? I don't even know. My daughter is 28, so 29 years. 29 years, something like that. But I work from home, and so I don't see a lot of people. And I like to get out to the markets and sell my wreaths. And I list a lot of them on my Facebook marketplace. But yeah, a lot of my sales come from local customers. But I do have an Etsy shop. I do sell on there too, but I focus mainly on local sales. And if you're, you know, a buyer, if you're interested in purchasing a wreath, my Etsy shop is in the link in my bio. And I do have several wreaths on there for sale at the moment, and this one will be on there too later. Okay, so now we got the bottom layer on, so we're going to put the ribbon on now as well. So I'm just going to take this one and put it right on top of the other one, and you're going to like fold it to find your middle, and then just pinch and gather in the middle, and we're going to lay it right on top of our ties right here. I'm not going to cut these ties off yet because I'm not sure if I want to put in some flowers. I don't know yet. So, and then we're just going to separate these so you can see both of them, how pretty they are, like that. And then we're going to do the same thing all the way around. It's such bright, pretty colors. Same thing, you're going to lay it on top, and you're going to fold it over, and then gather in the middle. And I kind of like bend it like that, so. And then just give it a couple good twists in there. And separate. You can like lift one up and pull, and that kind of separates them like that. Again, lift it and pull. Good. Oh, this ribbon's thick. This deluxe ribbon. It's very pretty. And you can like wait till the end to separate all your ribbon. It's totally up to you. Whatever you would like to do. These are very quick wreaths to make. They use less material, and it makes it a little bit more cost effective. Plus we have a lot of people around here that have storm doors. These are made specifically to fit between your door and your storm door. Okay, so we've got our bottom layer. Now, we're just going to do the same exact thing on the top. You're just going to walk your fingers right up the middle. I should have pulled out my pipe cleaners. And you're going to gather it and make a little bow tie. And you're going to pull these up, the ones, the inner ring there. And you're going to lay this right on top. But you're going to do the same exact thing. Like pull your mesh one under and over. Under and over. And bend it down. The pipe cleaner's getting stuck there. Same thing, all the way around. Bend that mesh down. I'm going to pull out the rest of these ties before I start because I don't want to be digging for them after. So you're just going to pull them up in between your mesh there. Just a couple more to go. I'm going to push it all the way down. Get it down in there. Bend it down. To the next one. Again, pull your mesh under and over the other piece and fold it down. Two more. This is a very stiff mesh. Last one. There we go. So now we can finish our ribbon on the top. This is one of my favorite ribbons, this scalloped edge. I must use it on everything. Or what some of the other wreath makers call fancy pants. Not fancy pants, what do they call it? I think it's fancy pants ribbon, I don't know. We're just going to separate these. And we're just going to go until it's all done. Only 2 more to go. And the last one. There we go. So that's what we have so far. Let's see how thin that is. Separate some of these on the bottom. You probably could have cut these a little longer too. 14 inches. I usually always do everything 13 inches. I don't know why. There we go. Alright, so we're going to put that aside. Let me pull these pipe cleaners out of the way for now. I'm still undecided if I want to put flowers in there. We'll see what it looks like. But we're going to get the sign on. And I think I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. So, well, a little bit higher so we can put a bow down here. All right, so I get one of these little needles. I use these little, I don't know what they're called. Yarn needles, but they're like plastic bendy needles. And I just take the 2 ends of the pipe cleaner and put it through there and bend it and go right through the mesh. And then flip it over, and I'm going to find 2 of these rings here. This is how my nails get all messed up. and then just twist it. I'm not going to cut it off yet because I'm not sure about placement. I'm going to go to the opposite side here. I don't want to get it. Let's go. We want it up a little higher. I don't want to hide the ribbon. Okay, let's go right there. See how that works. And again, we'll just take it and wrap it around the 2 bars. And let's see. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's see. I don't want to hide the ribbon here. Oh, I guess I can go through there. You want the back to look as nice as, you know, possible. I do not cover the backs of my wreaths. I just try to make them look as nice as they possibly can because I heard that if you cover them, the back can mold the backing. So I don't do that. I've never experienced it because I've never covered the back of mine, so I don't know if that's true. It's just what I've heard. Okay, I don't want that there. I'm going to pull the ribbon out and then put it in. So I'm going to do that again. Okay, that's better. Get my pipe cleaners out of there too. All right, now that I've got them in a good position where I want it, I'm going to trim these off and just wrap them around. Make sure there's nothing sticking out. Make sure it's pretty tight. But you don't want it too tight. You don't want it squished down in your wreath. All right, so there we go. We got our sign on. And I'm still unsure about the flowers, so and see how nice and thin it is. Let's make about, I'm trying to think if I want to add one more color in there, like maybe a red. Kind of looks like McDonald's colors with the red. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I use a bow maker. I'm going to angle cut my ribbon. trying to think if I want 4 loops of this. Yeah, why not? Let's do, let's see what this is. This is about a 12-inch tail. So we're just going to lay our ribbon down in there and twist it so that you have the back side facing up, and then you're going to pull it on top like that. We're going to do a 6-inch loop, and then you're going to twist again. Oops, let me get it measured out. Okay, so we got 6 inches there. And then again, 6 inches. And every time you put it inside here, you're going to twist it 180 degrees so the back side is up. We're going to do, I don't know, 4 loops of this, 2 on each side. I'm not sure. So I do 2 of this and 4 of the other. No, let's do 4 of this. How about we do 4, 3, 2? I just don't know if I want the red in there. And then, oh, I don't like the way this is cut. I'm going to angle it this way. You don't want your bow like too big and fluffy because this is supposed to be, you know, thin so it fits between the door and the storm door. So let's go on to the blue. Again, we're going to angle cut this. And I'm only going to do 2 loops of this one. And I'm going to bring it down to 5 inches. And every time I put the bow in here, I twist it 180 degrees. Okay. So we're going to go to 5 inches here. And then again, 5 inches here. I don't know if I like the red. I don't think I do. So I think we're just going to make a little button. So I should have just enough. So we're going to twist again and make one little small loop right here. Probably about 2 inches. Just enough of that left. And then I'm going to get a zip tie. And I lost my, oh, there it is. Another pipe cleaner. So you're going to lift this up, hold it with both hands right here. And where that indentation is, that's where you're going to put your pipe cleaner. I mean your zip tie. And then you're going to put your pipe cleaner in there. And tighten it up. I don't tighten it up all the way yet until I get all my tails and everything where I want them. Don't be afraid to handle those tails and those loops. And then when I have it where I want it, like that, then I tighten it up real good. And then cut off the zip tie. Okay, and then we're just going to put the bow right there. And we can adjust the tails and everything after. So again, I'm going to take my little needle. And I'm going to put them, both the pipe cleaners through there and just bend it so they don't come undone. And then let's see where we want this. Right there. And you're just going to go right through the mesh. Flip it over and then find your 2 rings here. Give it a few twisties and then cut off the excess. And we're just gonna wrap that around. Okay, let's fix that bow. I think we could make that a little bit tighter. All right. I'm going to pull these loops on. And there we go. It's a very quick wreath to make. And it's very thin. And then I keep the pipe cleaners on because, like, if I want to add flowers, and I'm not sure that I want to. Oh, those would be so pretty. See what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 12. What if we just do the outside? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how that goes. And I got these from Hobby Lobby, by the way. And they're little pushers. But I don't really like this leaf here. I'm taking that off. That's ugly. I'm going to push them up and just cut a little tiny bit here. And then what I do is it's going to go right here where the pipe cleaner is. I usually tie the pipe cleaner around it and then I go back over it with hot glue. And my hot glue gun is not even on. So then I just cut this off. And I'm I'm going to fold that down in there. I just keep wrapping it around. And then I'll go back and hit it with some hot glue. Let's take this off. I normally don't put florals in wreaths that I use wire frames for, but sometimes it's just a little added extra touch, and today I felt like doing that. But I think I'm going to cut these off because we're not going to put florals in there. Wait, I'm going to wait. I haven't completely made up my lines yet. So again, you're just going to take the pipe cleaner that's already there. You're going to put this in there and twist it around that. And then cut the rest off. And then take that little tiny nub and keep wrapping it around. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up going around the bottom with these florals. I'm going to push them up as far as I can get them. And then cut off that little piece there. And again, I'm just taking it and wrapping the pipe cleaner around the stem. And then cutting it off. And then I'm going to push it down a little bit more and just take that little piece and wrap it around. And then we're going to hit it with some hot glue. I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. I decided that I'm probably not going to put them on the top. I only got 11 stems and we have 12 spots, so I probably won't put them. This should be the last one. I might put two like around the bow on these two sides. I don't know if there's a better way to like attach florals to these, but this is what I find works for me. Like I said, I don't normally put florals in these kinds of wreaths with the metal frames, but I usually use not the grapevines, the evergreens for when I'm going to do florals and mesh. But I just thought this would add a cute little touch to it. Alright, let's see. So I'm not really sure. I think I might want some of the flowers right here. So I'm going to cut two more. Let me get rid of this bottom green one. I'm going to push them up. Oh, maybe we could have these out a little bit more. And again, I'm just going to take it, stick it down in there and tie the pipe cleaner around the stem. And if there's too much stem, like going that way, you can cut it off after. I see there's a lot of extra stem here. I don't know if you could see that. There's a lot of extra right there, and I'm just going to cut it off. I just thought that'd be cuter on the bow. Do this one more. I'm going to cut that off too. That's a little long. Nice amount of hot glue on there. Now, get some of these glue strings off here. And I think I'm done. I don't think I'm going to add any more flowers. Maybe one right there, like right there. You can just stick it through the mesh. I might as well use all this. Right? We could do two there. I don't know. We'll see. But I think one right there would be cute. Yeah, that's adorable. So that one I'm just going to try and get in here behind the bow and the zip tie and everything. And kind of hold it in there. I do have two left that I could put here. Right, we might as well use it all. Let's see, and these, I don't know if I want them this way. Maybe we'll do like straight up and down. In any case, we're going to cut this pretty short. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it this way, so, let's see. I don't want the stem showing. And before I glue those in, I'm going to see how I like it, because I don't think I like that. No, I don't. We're going to leave these off. since these two don't have flowers, I think we're just going to cut these off and tuck those in, and maybe just pinwheel these out so it looks like it's more full. Right. And there we go. We are done. How adorable is that? And it's very thin, still fits through the door and the storm door. So anyways, thanks you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Okay, bye.